is that old friend gone, lost in a February song? Tell him it won't be long till he opens his eyes, opens his eyes. Where is that simple day before colors broke into shades? And how did I ever fade into this life, into this life? And I never want to let you down. Forgive me if I slip away. And all that I've known is lost and found. I promise you I'll come back to you one day.
Well, words can't describe him really. He was superhuman. He was just better than your average guy who always put a smile on your face.
He was able to mould himself to the people who he was with. Like, he was everybody's best friend.
Everyone loved him. Shone when he entered the room.
It was just fun with him 24/7. Everywhere he went, he was there, happy, having a laugh.
He was just such a nice person. Just, really nice and honest, and, he would listen to you.
And he was very charismatic, and he wanted to make you feel comfortable.
He was just an absolute nutter, to be honest, really.
Absolutely amazing. He was the bestest friend anyone could ever have. I mean, if there was anything ever bothering me, I only had to go to college and see him, and that'll be it. I'll be happy again straight away.
He was just a legend, wasn't he? He was like, he never failed to put a smile on anyone's face. He was always the joker.
Nicest kid that ever lived, all that I've known. Never had a problem with anyone. You'd never see him down.
Well, to start off with, he was in the other group to me obviously, and he came in, I think it was a week or maybe 2 weeks with Frank later on, and I'd heard a hell of a lot about him from the likes of Rachel and everyone who'd know him from first dips. Bit of a party animal, that's all I really knew. Frank came into ours and he went into theirs, and to be fair, I didn't know what everyone was talking about at first, because I thought, well, it seems alright to me. He's just very, very quiet and keeps himself to himself, and then as it progressed you thought, you crazy mad fool.
When I first met him, he was one of the quietest people I've ever met. It was silent, he didn't say a word, and he missed the induction of the first year, and so we'd had like that first 2-week bonding session, and I was sat with Max, and he came over and he just sat there in the corner and just didn't say anything, and I don't actually remember who started talking to who, but we ended up just getting on really well.
He used to just come in from college, he'd probably have had an hour's sleep from the night before, he was out all the time. He'd be still in the clothes he was wearing, he would absolutely stink, he'd look like a tramp because he just had beer all over him and everything, but yeah, he always just had a set of clothes that I used to keep in the cupboard at college. So I used to maybe sometimes go for a shower, put clothes on, and then he was alright for the day.
Every day, when I got to college, I just knew it'd be moments before he said something that'd get me cracked up. And he was the first person that I talked to. I'd go to him when he was reading his paper and stuff. And same with dinner, we'd always stay in the room and we'd just mess around, listen to music.
Always playing the funny man, the character. He always was, if was at a party and it was dying a bit, he'd be the one to do something daft and silly and probably burn himself or hurt himself or drink until he throws up or get naked or something.
He just was somebody that you looked at and thought you're a genuine person, and you don't find that in many people. He was just really down to earth and genuine with everybody, and I thought he was always kind of, if you got to a certain level with him, it was always like the same. If you rang him at 2 o'clock in the morning, he'd still want to know what was wrong and he'd still want to console you, and if you rang him at 8 o'clock in the morning, it'd be exactly the same. It wouldn't matter what time of day or when it was, whatever he was doing, he'd try and he'd want to talk to you.
He was the best friend that anyone could have. He was the best entertainer that you could have at a party. He was just, I don't know, words can't describe him. I don't know, when they were making him they must have put in some super formula because he was just outstanding.
He just had like a warm glow about him, and you just couldn't, I don't know if there was anyone that disliked him, because as soon as he met someone, everyone just instantly clicked with him. And known him for 2 years, you just kept it, because he was just so amazing and so full of life. And
we didn't start our course until he was away for the induction, and I was like, oh, you have to meet Frank and Xavier. I think I just said that he was an amazing person and there was not a chance in hell that you weren't going to get on with him. It's cheesy, I suppose. You'd cherish the day that you met him, because you'd never go back. You can't become his friend and then cast him aside. You don't want to be without him ever again.
When I first met him, I just thought he was beautiful. And I just looked at him and thought, wow, he's really fit.
I think as soon as you walked in the room, if you were either a boy or a girl, you fancied him first of all, because I had that moment of doubt about my sexuality when I first saw him, because he was a bit of a ladies' man, but it detained me any day, so I think that's the first warning. Just be prepared to fall in love with a guy first of all. Seriously though, I think you didn't have to introduce him, just take him as you found him, and I think everyone who did meet him, they didn't have a bad word to say.
He's just undescribable. He's just someone you like to mention in conversation, because everything you mention about him is just something that will make you all laugh, whether you've met him or not. He's good at making people smile, whether he's there or not. Great smile.
That smile, that big cheesy smile that he had was just brilliant.
glorious smile.
Yeah.
Cheesy smile.
He could get him out of anything. It was like he could kill someone, and then their best friend would come over and go, "You just killed my best friend." It's like, "Oh, sorry," and then everything would be forgiven. Yeah.
He's the only lad who came in pissed more than sober, and Mount was said, if it was me or Danny, then he'd have Peter get the finger out and come outside here and can have a talk to you, please. But he came in like he did 10 minutes late, and everyone knew. He just sat down and and that was it. That was it. So that smile got him out of everything.
He had a beautiful smile. He had the mask smile. He had a smile like the mask, I think.
He had the most amazing smile in the world, and he'd just come in and smile, and then you just felt happy even if you were feeling sad.
If there was a party and everyone was sat there miserable as hell, you would just walk in and smile and everyone would just brighten up straight away. That's the kind of effect he had on people. He could brighten everyone up.
I was jealous. Them teeth were awesome. Like I said, because he loved me, he used to brush his teeth all the time.
You couldn't beat it, could you? It was just his laugh as well. His laugh just lit up the whole room.
That was the best smile I've ever seen. If only I had teeth like that, I'd be well happy. But again, it's just whenever you saw him smile, you instantly felt this warmth inside. You felt happy just seeing him so happy.
It was flipping cheesy. It was unreal. He just like, I don't know, he just won the ladies over straight away with it.
I don't like smiling near him a lot because it made man look a bit bad.
He was like the antidote to life's cancer, if that makes sense.